came around to say hello. One-on-one, I'm so fly. You took a nosedive. Careful when you play on my level. For you, it's so. Hey, hello.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra. Flip the script.
Hello, Moto.
I want to ask you, General Pandey, the fact that this Operation Sindoor was launched the night of 6th and 7th, when 7th was the date given for the mock drills, what do you see in terms of the strategy behind, the NOTAM being issued, the mock drills happening, all of that was to happen today. And just before that, has this somehow or the other given the sense of surprise that we wanted to bring into our strike on Pakistan?
Yeah, of course. There has been a sense of surprise, but let me bring a correct perspective to it, that any military force, after having done what they have done, would be well prepared for a reaction which will come, right? And this possibility always existed that we will come by physical force. Having done, if you see the graduated response which happened in Uri, it was a land-based surgical strike, happened after 11 days. After 12 days in case of Pulwama, we went for Balakot. We crossed the parameters we had never crossed before and touched the IB. It is a symbolic this thing. I'm quite sure that this time they were expecting a larger expansion, right? So they may be a radicalized force, but they are still a professional force. I'm sure they must be ready with all their elements, but overall to psych, put people into a certain degree of looking other way, with the taps being, the dams being emptied and blocked, that gradual response. The Prime Minister came yesterday evening, I was there in that very major event which was organized in...
there was a function where he made a statement on Bharat ka pani Bharat ke liye rahega.
So, and when I met him, there is no body language to tell that there is something which is going to happen in the night. Similarly, in the day, the activities which were coming out in the news media, stuff and all, it was very clear that no physical operation is going to be there. And all our chatter, even of the veterans, was of wait for a time, a suitable time later on. So I guess that not only they would have been certainly, there must be a certain degree of surprise, but that may be for the people in the hinterland, right? When we were surprised on this saying that, okay, it went tonight or in the early morning, I guess so will be others.
So would be others. Would Pakistan have been caught with their guard slightly down since this happened yesterday? Were they expecting? And if they were expecting it, would we hear statements that we heard from Mahmood Azhar, "Main bhi mar jata, 10 log mere parivar ke mar gaye hain"? Would we have seen these kind of casualties?
Well, Navika, I will tell you that they were expecting it and we tired them out. Two things, plus deception, surprise and shock. This is a cocktail, a typical cocktail which a mature country waits for the right time and the right opportunity. So we created that, and yesterday there was so much of hype that sirens will go on and blackouts will happen, and there was so much of other activity, excitement that what is going to happen, and we will do this in high-rise buildings and metros and this and that.
Yeah.
You see how we
Distracted everybody. Distraction,
and then comes the surprise, shock, saturated attack, 15 minutes in all. 200 miles covered. So you see this. This is strategy, maturity, patience, potency, precision.
Absolutely precision, but Abhijit, the ecosystem in India, the ecosystem fueled from abroad, is absolutely active. On the one side, you have those who says, "Dharam pucha tha na, Modi ne bata diya. Bola tha na, Modi ko bata dena, Modi ne jawab de diya." On the other side are those, "Oh, humanity is in danger and this should not have been done." Literally believing, some of the statements coming out of Pakistan. Shahbaz Sharif says he's going to address the country. Nothing really happening so far. What do you make of this?
So, this,
I don't believe everybody here who's doing all this nautanki is a Pakistani agent. You know, there are just publicity crazy people who know exactly how to monetize hate from the public. The more engagements you get, the way the Twitter algorithm works is the more hate you get, the more your monetization grows up. Hidden amongst them, there are people who are funded by this whole ecosystem, who some of them know they are part of the ecosystem, a lot of them do not know they are part of the ecosystem. You know, to use the old Sovietism, the village of useful idiots. And then there is the third, who are genuine Mombatti wala types. But the problem with those Mombatti wala types, Aman ka tamasha types, they get funding for business class tickets via Dubai to Lahore or Rawalpindi or wherever. They get 5-star stays at Hotel Serena in Islamabad or the Intercontinental in Islamabad. And, you know, it is so profitable on the side. You know, I mean, if peace comes with a side serving of 5-star hotel stays and Star Alliance miles and business class and free champagne, they genuinely believe in free champagne and business class.
Well, Tiny Dillo, we're fighting the enemy outside. We're fighting an enemy within. It's a 2.5 front war. CDS General Rawat said this. How difficult is the half front that is inside, which India has to deal with? And where do you think this is going from here on? Is this narrative that will be sold by Pakistan come back and bother the defense forces? Or do you think it really doesn't matter? Because when there is a political will, the rest falls into place.
Now, first of all, when there is a political will and you have a strong defense forces, it falls in place. But notwithstanding that, this half a front can work on two platforms or two pedestals. One is the ideological one. Everything which you do, which your military does, which your leadership takes a decision, they are always there to somehow put it down. That in some way or the other would affect the morale of the forces, and that is not a good thing to do. That is the ideological one. Second is, if tomorrow or some of areas in India, we had the armed insurgency going on. Now, when that half front also joins in, then the lines of communication or our logistic lines, they have to be secured. There are 10 people fighting on the border. There is a logistic line which is more than 100 kilometers. To secure that, you need at least 25 people. So what I'm trying to say is this half a front will eat away our troops trying to secure our rear areas, our dumps and our logistic lines, our lines of communication, as also in adverse situation, it can affect the morale of the soldiers, because every day you keep saying, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. That young boy of 20 years or 22 years who has just joined the Fauj, he is going to get affected because he is calling up home. Their home people are telling him, कि यहाँ पे तो ये बात चल रही है. So when it is a whole of a nation approach, I think every individual in this 140 crores should be contributing towards the comprehensive national power and nation building or the nation's response.